Yeah, wild game last on Tuesday. I was really unaware of the whole crosstown rivalry, on if I'm being transparent, because we've just never played them. And I don't know why I didn't think about the men's games, because the men's games are always great, no matter where it is. And there's a lot of passion behind it. But since I've been here, all I've known is to, not like Mississippi State. So this whole Memphis thing was kind of new, and it was really a great environment for our group. I mentioned that logistically, I probably would have handled some things different. People want to know what that means. Like, we just drove up the day of and just got off the bus and was like, "Go play," and we usually don't do that for road games. But again, for me, I'm thinking I go to Memphis all the time to shop and stuff like that. No big deal. And that probably got us off to a bad start. Nevertheless, really glad that our team showed some fight and resiliency. That's what November is about. I'd seen some people go down in flames, and our team just decided that they wouldn't. Christine with a phenomenal game, and then Cody and Sierra with a strong second half to back it up. So, learned a lot about my group in that game, and looking forward to continuing to grow. One of the things I do want to mention before questions is, we got Notre Dame in the house. December 4th, we have a game on Monday, Longwood, which is my next game. But I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about having Notre Dame come in on December 4th and 8 p.m. So really want to have as many people show up as possible. It's going to be a good time. We got the drum line showing up, rally towels, white is the color. So hopefully we see people there.
What did you learn on Tuesday night?
I learned a lot. I learned about our resiliency as a team. I learned it was interesting to hear them communicate in the huddles. They did a lot of talking. Then I got them fired up. Well, I guess I was fired up at halftime. So it was interesting to see how they would respond to that, because we just hadn't been in that situation. And then there were some people that really stepped up in those moments and were unafraid. And it allowed just a really transparent conversation yesterday on things that we need to do moving forward, how we need to prepare, what needs to be at the forefront, which is defense, because we just did not have the legs like we would have wanted to, really on both ends. But our system is so strong defensively, we were able to hang our hats on that and hold them to 6 points in the third and fourth, which ultimately allowed us to get to overtime.
Was there a moment where you felt it change?
Well, if I'm being honest, there was not a point of the game I thought we were going to lose, but maybe I was just too calm and optimistic. I fell asleep on the bus too, so maybe I was still trying to wake up. But I never felt like we would lose the game. I just felt like I just needed to coach them through every segment, and so I was very composed. When we got into overtime, we felt pretty confident that, the basketball gods gave us 5 minutes of new life for us to right our wrongs. So, but I thought we would be able to have a chance to win it in regulation too. So there were some things I learned about, what I want to do at the end of the games. We practice end of the game stuff, but if I could have that time again, maybe I would have done one or two things a little different to give us a better advantage. But I didn't really feel a shift. I just felt them continuously staying consistent and trying to get back into the game, and we kept echoing 3 stops, 3 stops. Let's get 3 stops, which is something that we believe in.
Monday morning quarterback hindsight, how big was that now, like you mentioned with the Notre Dame coming here, having to do that adversity and on the road
Yeah.
at the same time?
It was huge. I mean, listen, this is not coach speak. There's not one coach in the country that doesn't enjoy watching their team be challenged and seeing what the results are. Had we lost, I would have been able to sit here and take it, like the leader that I am, and it be a lesson. But the fact that we were able to experience that and still win was even more gratifying. It shows the character of our group. It was such a wild game. Like, I remember waking up the next morning, and the first thing I said to my husband, I was like, that's the wildest game I've ever been a part of. There was so much going on in the whole game, that I remember it felt like at one point it felt like I was here, and then things were like this just going on all around me, like it was a twilight. It was crazy. And the fans, and shout out to Memphis. I thought they played phenomenal. Like, they played like they were making shots that I just hadn't seen them make. And that means that they were prepared, and they wanted to respond well against us.
In those moments when things are kind of hanging in the balance, who stepped up as leaders for your team?
Whew, tons of people. Cody was very vocal on the bench. Like, again, there was so much drama. Like, Cody gets 4 fouls in the third quarter and has to sit out. So then she started using her voice. Debrisha was phenomenal. Christine almost played the whole game, so she was exhausted. Didn't do much talking, but led with her play. The way they got around Sierra from having like just a miserable first half performance, and her being able to wipe that out in the second half and hit 2 big threes, for us to get us back in the game. There were the bench participation, my coaches. Everybody really had a hand in us rallying back, which was really positive to see.
You told us in the summer and preseason you felt it. What has Christine done to take that step that you've seen in these 4 games?
Yeah, I cannot stop celebrating Christine. She is someone who I think deserves it, and I know it won't get to her head. She will continue to work. She's just a really great person, and sometimes as coaches, we don't get to talk about that as much because people look at, the stats. But Christine is just a rock star individual. Like, I would want my daughter to be like Christine. Just really humble, great energy, a leader. And she's passionate about this team, and she's passionate about where she wants us to go. So all she talked about this summer was winning. She was one that could have came in and demanded, more than the normal person, because we kind of really needed her. And instead, I'll never forget her coming in and saying, Coach, go ahead and get me teammates. Don't worry about me, get me teammates. And so that's a leader, making sure that everybody else has what they need for the greater good. And she's being rewarded, so I'm really happy for her.
And Cody was obviously one of the big transfer portal additions. Has she been everything you thought she would be?
That's a great question, because I didn't really know what to expect from Cody when I first got in. That's why you got to get to know people for yourself. You can see an incident happen on social media, or, you can listen to people. But I'm telling you, like, Cody is just a champion individual. Out of all my star-studded players, her and I have the best relationship. I coach her the hardest. She has a great persona and aura about herself. She's a competitor. She's worked really hard to get this team to see who she wants to be. And she's happy. And you see it in her play. And I don't think Cody, Tosh, Sierra has played their best basketball yet, and that is exciting for me. But as she's as advertised as far as her game is concerned, even though when she came, she had a lot of things that we had to overcome, and now she's like healthy, she's in shape, and I'm really excited for her.
Talked about it a lot there, the Memphis rivalry.
Yeah.
Was this a one-off, or is this the start of
No,
something?
we want to keep it going. They have to return it. And hopefully, and I'll be open to keeping it going. It's something that I think is necessary. They had a great crowd. We had a lot of our people there. That was kind of cool. Like, They started the "Are you ready?" You know, it was an incredible environment for both teams.
Said you were excited about them going to Huntsville for that environment.
Yeah.
Talk about this environment.
Yeah.
You like how they've handled those environments.
Yeah.
Scored the game out, but just handled the environment.
Yeah, you know, we could have lost that game. You know, Memphis was they were balling, man, and they smelled an opportunity and they really tried to get it. They didn't lose that game. We just won the game. You know, and that's a testament to coach and when what she's doing with that program, and you know, they have 9 new players too, so they're figuring out things as well. But they really tried to seize the moment, and I was really impressed by our team by just not folding and not flinching for the whole time. We just kept chopping wood and kept staying consistent. And when we felt like we got close, they kind of just ran with it with our identity by getting stops and making them be easy baskets for us on the offensive end.
Thank you.
Thank you.